What's up, guys? Today I'm taking a look at a brand new knife from Bestechman. This is the Ronin, I think is what it's called, model number BMK02. This is just the second knife released under the Bestechman brand, which is a sub-company of Bestech knives. I really love Bestech knives. There's definitely a large spread and variety of knives from budget all the way to very premium, with some crazy cool designs too, from like Kombu, but Bestechman is pretty much going to be focusing on budget-friendly knives. And I do have a coupon code for you guys as well. 10 sharp, one word, will save you 10% starting on December 14th all the way to the end of the year. And I'll put a link to their website in the comments and description. And thanks to the good folks at Bestech for sending this one into the channel. So I think the price on these is about 51 to 63 bucks, and that's before the discount. So let's see what we got. I've actually been carrying this for a few days, but to show you what comes in the box, which is not a whole lot. You got some warranty information there. And it actually says on here that Bestechman will repair a knife free of charge if problems develop with normal use. We will gladly resharpen your Bestechman knife to factory sharp or exchange a new firm pocket clip for you. That's pretty cool. I had no idea. I don't know if Bestech does that too, but that's pretty cool. For a budget knife, you can have it resharpened and get a new pocket clip. So pretty cool. So I think the price on these is about 51 to 63 bucks, and that's before the discount. The release date is the 14th, and I'm filming this on the 13th of December. There's quite a few different variations of G10 colors and blade finishes. This OD green looks pretty cool on this one, and this is the satin finish. And there's also a stonewash finished or a black stonewash finish. So let's start off with what the Ronin is and what it is not. What it is a budget-friendly crossbar lock folder with easy one-hand opening and closing, Sandvik 14C blade steel, and a comfortable and sturdy handle that gives you a lot to hold on to. A good working knife, budget knife, crossbar lock. Now what it's not is an ultralight EDC. Okay, it's not like a Benchmade bug out or a Hogue Deca that weigh like 2 ounces. This probably weighs like 4 ounces or so. Probably says on the specs, but let's just check it out. So about 4.3 ounces, that's what the specs say as well. These are like 2 ounces, right? 1.7, 2 ounces. Now 4.3 ounces isn't too heavy or anything for daily carry. It's definitely within my range, my weight range of what I'd be fine carrying. And so far I haven't really noticed that much in my pocket. It's been just fine. But if you're thinking like, oh, it's an Axis lock like a bug out, it's definitely got more heft to it. Which honestly, if you're gonna be putting your knife to work, more than just opening a letter or two or one box per day, but if you actually use your knife quite a bit throughout the day, you're gonna want a knife with a little better handle than the Hogue Deca, for example. I love the Deca. Something a lot of people complain about is the handle. It's a polymer handle, but it's kind of a flimsy, plasticky, really plasticky feeling polymer. But with the Ronin, and obviously these knives are kind of in different categories, different purposes and different price ranges. But with the Ronin, it's great for doing some more serious work, giving you a good grip and without breaking the bank. Now, the other thing it's not, at least not in its current state, is a fidget knife. Even though it's a crossbar lock and multiple deployment methods, it's not the best for fidgeting. Yes, you can reverse flick it, and you can thumb flick it, and you can even, lock flick it or whatever you want to call that. But due to the stiffness of the springs, it's not very fun to fidget with for very long. For normal daily carry use, it's perfectly fine. And I prefer on this knife just a slow roll with the thumb studs. But if you're going to sit there and fidget with it over and over again, for deployment, you've kind of got to load up a little bit to get it to overcome the detent of the crossbar lock. and to fully deploy the blade. See, it's actually getting better as I go. Especially when I first got it, like, I would fail it a little more. See, I'm trying not to, and I can still do it, but... And then for disengaging the lock as well, doing it a bunch of times in a row, and you kind of start to feel it on your thumbs especially, just from the strength of the springs. It's really not that bad, and for daily carry use, it's not going to be a big deal at all. And not to mention, there might be a little bit of a break-in period for these springs to loosen up a little bit. So it's only going to get better, I think, with time. And you can always replace these springs with thinner ones if that's something you're concerned about, is fidgeting. But this is solid, guys. Seriously, this is pretty great for daily carry. I've been carrying this for a few days now, and I've been really impressed with a few different things. I love the handle. It's very comfortable. Good 4-finger grip, no problem. And the jimping there on the spine is quite effective. Really stops you in your place. Does a pretty good job. I like Sandvik 14C on a budget knife over D2 steel personally, so that's nice. And the blade shape is kind of cool. It's kind of like a leaf-shaped drop point. It could almost be a spear point. Kind of, maybe. Not quite though. But really solid construction all around. Well put together knife. The centering is good right down the middle. And the other thing I like is this pocket clip. It's nothing fancy. It's a stamped pocket clip. But it functions well. It goes in and out of the pocket very smooth. There's plenty of room there for your pocket fabric. And the clip is flush with the handle. Screws are recessed, so nothing's going to snag up on your pocket. And a nice little ramp as well. Doesn't look like it's reversible, so sorry you lefties. Show you what it looks like. It's a deep carry, but not a true deep carry. You got a little bit sticking out on the top, but it's pretty much a deep carry. A breeze getting in and out, like, not too easy, all right? I don't think it's going to be falling out on accident or anything, but very easy in and out of the pocket. I like it, even if it's nothing too fancy. Nuttin' Fancy. I haven't watched Nuttin' Fancy on YouTube in a while. I used to watch a lot of his videos. Now, before we get to the full specs, there's something else I want to show you, and this really reminds me, this pocket knife anyways, it really reminds me of a Harns pocket knife. The G10 especially reminds me of like the Harns Wolverine, and even the pivot. I've got this Harns Time that I have taken apart for some reason, I don't remember why, but I want to show you the similarity of that pivot. So you've got like the letter, I think that's supposed to be an H for Harns, and that's maybe a T? Bestekman? I don't know. But just the fact that like they both have the letter, and then the way that they're even milled actually looks very similar. And I'm trying to remember, is Bestech the OEM for Harns? Or is Harns another little branch off of the Bestech tree? I might have looked that up when I did a Harns video, but I just can't remember. But either way, there's a lot of similarities, even just the way that it's constructed and designed. They really remind me of each other. And sometimes it's just hard to tell because a lot of the knife manufacturers are based out of the same city or region, and they source materials from the same suppliers. But anyways, I'm pretty sure these guys are the same. Let me know if someone knows in the comments. Alright, so let's get into the full specs. I'll use my little cheat sheet here to make sure I'm not leading you astray. So the blade length is about 3¼ inches. The handle length is a little over 4½ inches for an overall length of just under 8. The stock thickness is about 0.13, 0.14 inches, or 3.5 millimeters. The weight was 4.3 ounces. This version has the satin finish on the blade. Blade is pretty unmarked. You got the Bestekman logo right there. And on this side, does it say Sandvik? The pivot screw is T8. I don't think the rest are. And the body screws are T6. Clip screws are also T6. The scales are G10, and then there's some steel liners that are milled out a little bit for some weight reduction. G10 back spacer, and then a little lanyard post. Oh, it looks like they carved out a little piece of that back spacer to make a lanyard post. That's a pretty cool way to do it. I like that actually. And no blade play or blade rock or anything like that. Very solid knife. No knife review is complete unless we cut some paper. So let's cut some paper. That's pretty freaking good. Very impressive factory edge, especially for like a $50-ish knife. All right, so here's the Baby Banter and the Spyderco Dragonfly 2, the Civivi Elementum, and the OKC Rat 2, and the QSP Penguin. I don't really have a lot of big knives right now, or I do, they're just put away. I mostly have all these knives that are just medium-sized knives that are exactly the same as each other that I'm comparing for you guys. I don't know, guys. I'm pretty impressed for like 50, 55 bucks. This is pretty cool, man. If you're looking for an axis lock, or excuse me, a crossbar lock, you don't want to break the bank. You want something kind of in the budget price range that you can really use and abuse and has a nice handle to hold on to. You can really put it to work. Check out the Bestechman Ronin. Is that what it's called? Conan? Ronin? Being released on December 14th. I'll put the Bestechman website in the comments. And don't forget, 10% off with code 10SHARP. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching.